Be whoever you need to be with Vital.
Espresso is back with Vital fitness expert and trainer Thinus Biermann. He shares important tips to include in any fitness workout or sports training program.
Good morning and welcome to this beautiful venue here at the One and Only. Today we're focusing on legs and triceps. Let's start off with the legs. I'm going to give you 3 great toning exercises for the quads and the calves. 3 different variations where you're doing repetitions of 10 or even 15 on each variation. Let's start off with the squat, the lunge and the side lunge. Remember to do 15 repetitions on each muscle group and move from one exercise into the other. Because it's a superset, you don't want to stop, you want to keep moving. And then we're going to be moving to the calves. 3 different variations on the single calf raise. So the legs are going to be nice and straight, up to the top, lift, squeeze, emphasize that squeeze in the calf. Bring the toes to the side, lift and then squeeze, same thing, and then bring the toes in and lift and squeeze. Remember, it's a superset, so you don't want to rest. Moving from one into the other, doing 3 to 5 sets, and that will be your full workout. Let's recap that again, just from the top. Quads, you've got your normal squat, 15 repetitions, moving straight into the next exercise, your alternating lunge. Keep the balance, body nice and straight, suck the belly into the back of the spine, focus on the technique, because that's what's going to give you the results. And then moving into your side lunge, once again, keeping the knee nice and straight, and the leg that's bending, keep it straight so that you can get a great stretch on the inner thigh. And then from there, moving on to the calves, your straight calf raise, legs out into the side calf raise, and then legs in into the inside calf raise. Doing these 2 exercises straight into each other, so it's one big superset. Now let's move into the Pilates workout. We'll be focusing on the hamstrings, the abductors, and also on the lower back and glutes. You're going to be lying flat on the mat, on the side, with the hand up to the top. Both legs lifted up off the floor. Small repetitions, isolated movements on the hip flexor that you're going to be doing. From there, you're bending the leg in and then kicking up to the ceiling. Bend the knee in and kicking up, still lifting up the bottom leg, trying to focus on that isolation on the hip flexor and also on the abductor. From there, there's 3 movements you're going to be focusing on. Remember, all of this comes straight after each other, so there's no rest. You've got the leg moving to the back for 10 repetitions, in the middle, straight up for 10 repetitions, and then forward for 10 repetitions. And then last but not least, big circles with the leg, with the bottom leg still lifted off. And then you're going to be focusing on 10 repetitions, big circles, nice good burn on the hip flexor and also on the abductor. From there, lying on your back into a shoulder bridge position, lifting up the bums to the top of the ceiling, belly into the back of the spine. Just focus on that squeeze. You're going to straighten out the right leg and make sure with this, once again, the technique is 100%. You want both knees right next to each other. Back straight, both knees right next to each other. Hold it there for 20 seconds. And then you're going to drop it down and emphasize that squeeze in the opposite hamstring, the knee that's bent, and then lift it up again. Drop and lift. And then doing the same with the opposite side. So you're focusing on the hamstrings and also on the glutes. Let's have a quick roundup of what we're going to do on the legs. So the quads and the calves. Quads, 3 different variation exercises. Moving into the calves, 3 different variation exercises. Let's go through them quickly. The squat, the alternating lunge, and the side lunge. Moving straight into the calves, you've got your straight leg calf raise, the open leg calf raise, and the inside leg calf raise. And then moving into your Pilates, the 2 exercises that you're going to be doing for your hamstrings and abductors. You're lying on your side, nice and straight, both legs up, small pulses with both legs working as a unit, moving with the top leg going to the back, moving in the middle and forward, and then finishing off with a big circle with the top leg. That's for your abductors and hip flexors. And then moving into the hamstrings where you're in your shoulder bridge, single leg up, holding it there for 20 seconds, alternate, and then do the repetitions, making sure you're isolating in the hamstring. So focus, get that mind over muscle and focus on the muscle squeezing. Those will be your Pilates exercises. So we've covered the quads, we've covered the glutes, the abductors, hamstrings, and the calves. And remember to stay safe, focus on the technique, and you'll get the results. Let's move on to triceps. The only bit of equipment that you need is a Swiss ball and 2 dumbbells. If you don't have that, you can use a chair and maybe a can of beans, anything that weighs more than 2 kgs. We're going to start off with the tricep kickback. Remember, there's 3 different exercises and you want to move from one into the other because it's one big superset. So elbows into the body, kicking back, getting a good squeeze in the tricep, and once again get that mind over muscle, think of the muscle squeezing and emphasize that squeeze. 15 or 20 repetitions on the tricep kickback, sitting back, body nice and straight, belly into the spine for the single arm overhead extension. So the arm's nice and straight, it's coming in and then up to the top. Focus on the elbow 90 degrees. Once again, the technique is what's going to give you the results. You don't want the elbow hanging to the side. Rather be safe than sorry and picking up injuries. That's going to put you out your training for a couple of weeks. From the single overhead extension, we're going to move into the dips. Now you can use anything from a chair, a table, anything that's very stable that you can put your body on and just drop down and lift up. Very important exercise because you're using your body weight, and that could be a foundation exercise. So try and focus on getting these 3 exercises moving straight into each other. Do 3 to 5 supersets all together and focus on high repetition because that's going to give you nice good strength and great definition in the muscle. So focusing on the legs once and then moving on to the triceps and doing a good 5 sets of them all together. I can guarantee you're going to be seeing fantastic results. Just a couple of things to remember when you're doing the exercise. Please do stretch afterwards. You don't want to pick up any injuries, and hold the stretch for a good 15 to 20 seconds. Each muscle group, when you're finished, give it a good long stretch, and remember to focus on the technique, especially with the lunge. Keep the knee 90 degrees with the body nice and straight. When you're doing the squat, squat backwards like you're sitting into a seat. Focus on the knees being 90 degrees. You don't want to put on too much pressure on the knees. Same as with the triceps. So when you're doing the dips, keep the elbows into the body, the elbow nice and straight. Don't let it lean to the side because you don't want to pick up any injuries. Here's something for you to remember. You can't just think or dream, you have to apply. A good saying by Bruce Lee. Enjoy it and stay safe.